The Jamestown Fishing Harbor, a monumental project poised to redefine the coastal community's economic landscape, stands as a testament to the collaboration between Ghana and China. The newly constructed $50 million facility, funded by the Chinese government and brought to life by the CRCC Harbour and Channel Engineering Bureau Group Limited, is nearing its official commissioning after 4 years of meticulous work. This venture, which involved the dredging of the harbor basin, the construction of hydraulic structures, and the development of various management facilities, marks a significant milestone in Ghana's infrastructural evolution, particularly within the fishing sector. Quick reminder for those who haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so to stay updated on such insightful content and help us reach our goal of 30,000 subscribers by the end of this month. Your support means a lot. During a recent tour of the facility, Ghana's Minister of Transport, Kwaku Ofori-Ejiama, expressed profound satisfaction with the quality of work completed. His commendation echoed the expectations of many who see this project as a beacon of economic revival for Jamestown, a historic community with deep ties to the fishing industry. The minister's endorsement underscores the government's belief that the harbor will not only enhance the efficiency and safety of fishing activities, but also bring much-needed economic benefits to the local population. Yet, amid the praise and anticipation, there lies a growing unease among the very people who have the most to gain or lose from this development: the artisanal fishermen of Jamestown. These men, who have for generations relied on the bounty of the sea to sustain their families and their heritage, now face an uncertain future as the harbor inches closer to its operational phase. Their concerns are not just about the potential disruption of their traditional practices, but also about their role, or the lack thereof, in the new order that this modern facility represents. Niarma Wulu II, the chief fisherman of Jamestown, has become the voice of this apprehension. In a candid interview with City Business News, he articulated the fears that have been quietly simmering beneath the surface of the community's excitement. His words paint a picture of a group of people who, despite being at the heart of the fishing industry, feel sidelined in the very development that was supposed to empower them. The chief fisherman's worries stem from what he perceives as a lack of clear communication and assurance from the government. There is a tangible anxiety among the fisherfolk, many of whom see the harbor's physical infrastructure, with its Chinese inscriptions and modern trappings, as a sign that the project might not serve their interests as promised. The apprehension is palpable. The fishermen wonder if the harbor, in its grandeur, will inadvertently push them to the fringes of their own industry, leaving them with nothing but the remnants of a once thriving livelihood. This sentiment is not unfounded. The history of infrastructural developments across the world is replete with examples where the indigenous populations and local workers were either displaced or found themselves struggling to adapt to new systems imposed by external forces. For the fishermen of Jamestown, whose lives are intricately tied to the rhythms of the sea and the traditions passed down through generations, the idea of being excluded from the operations of the new harbor is not just an economic threat, it's an existential one. The concerns of the Jamestown fishermen are further compounded by the broader dynamics of global development projects, where local communities often themselves negotiating for space and relevance in ventures funded and executed by foreign entities. The presence of Chinese companies in Africa, while instrumental in driving significant infrastructural growth, has also sparked debates about the long-term implications for local economies and cultures. In Jamestown, this global discourse takes on a personal dimension as the fishermen grapple with the reality of navigating a new harbor that, in their eyes, bears more of the Chinese imprint than their own. As the project reaches 99% completion, the urgency for dialogue and engagement has never been greater. The fishermen are calling for clear guarantees from the government, assurances that their roles will not just be preserved, but integrated into the new harbor's operational framework. They seek not just to participate, but to thrive within this new ecosystem, maintaining their traditional practices while adapting to the modern infrastructure that the harbor represents. The situation in Jamestown is emblematic of a larger challenge faced by many communities across Africa and the developing world. As nations strive for modernization and economic growth through partnerships with foreign powers, the delicate balance between progress and preservation becomes increasingly difficult to maintain. The question that looms over the Jamestown fishing harbor is not just one of economic viability, but of cultural continuity and the safeguarding of livelihoods that have sustained communities for centuries. In this context, the role of the government becomes crucial. It is not enough to build the infrastructure. There must be a concerted effort to ensure that the people who are supposed to benefit from it are not left behind. The government's promises to the Jamestown fishermen must be backed by concrete actions, engagements, agreements, and mechanisms that will secure their place in the new harbor's operations. The fishermen's fears need to be addressed, not just with words, but with tangible plans that involve them at every stage of the harbor's functioning. As the commissioning date approaches, the Jamestown Fishing Harbor stands as a symbol of both hope and uncertainty. It represents the potential for economic transformation and the risk of cultural erosion. For the fishermen of Jamestown, the harbor is more than just a facility. It is the future of their way of life, a future that they are determined to be a part of. Their voices, their concerns, and their aspirations must be central to the narrative of this new development. Only then can the harbor truly fulfill its promise as a catalyst for growth and prosperity for all in Jamestown. In the end, the success of the Jamestown Fishing Harbor will not be measured solely by its physical infrastructure or its economic output, but by the extent to which it uplifts and integrates the very community that has been its lifeblood for generations. The fishermen of Jamestown are not asking for charity. They are asking for a stake in the future that this harbor promises. Their plea is a simple one: to be recognized, respected, and included in the new chapter that is about to unfold on the shores of their beloved town. As the world watches the commissioning of this landmark project, the hope is that this plea does not go unheard.
If today is your first time watching this channel or you are returning to this channel for the exciting content, please subscribe to the channel for more educative and developmental projects across Ghana and Africa as a whole. Do you want to know about the state of a project in Africa? Then make sure to like and comment the name of the project you would like us to talk about and its current state.